Joining me now is Missouri Congressman Jason Smith. He is the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. Mr. Chairman, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And I know that you have made comments that you're against waiting till the end of next year to implement the tax extensions. Tell us how you see it.
Thanks, Maria. It's great to be with you. It's a huge concern to every American. The number one issue this past election was the economy, without a doubt, and we need to provide that certainty. If Congress does not act by the end of next year, every American will see a $4.6 trillion tax increase. The uncertainty for small businesses to hire, to grow, to invest will only be stalled during President Trump's first year in office if we wait towards the end of the year to make sure that their tax rate does not go up to 43.4%. These are issues that we have to address. And I'll tell you right now, I think there will be two reconciliation packages. That has been the discussion all along. What I have said is that tax needs to be in the first reconciliation. It should not be put off till tomorrow to do what can be done today. The confidence and the courage of my colleagues will get greatly reduced the longer that we're in Congress.
So, I mean, how do you do that if you want the border to be the priority? Look, we know voters voted for the border to be secure and for the economy to get back on track and inflation to be reined in. But if you don't have the votes in the Senate to pass a border bill, and it looks like you don't have the votes on the Senate to pass the border bill, then you're forced to use reconciliation for the border bill. So, I mean, is that the issue?
No, it's exactly right. Well, the best strategy for the Senate is to push tax farther in the year because then that will give them more opportunity to go through their confirmations. You know, the Senate works a whole lot slower than us. Of course, they're not able to pass the border bill. Not one Democrat will vote with them. So that is why I am saying we need a reconciliation bill that has border, energy, permitting, and tax. You put all four of those things together, we can deliver on that. In fact, in the House, we have been working for months, Maria, in preparation for this large omnibus bill. We need to deliver this win as early as possible to President Trump, but it needs to be a real win. A win for working families, small businesses, working for security with the border, energy dominance. It all can be done with one. We just don't need to give up that opportunity. And Maria, what everyone needs to pay attention to is Congress has not passed two reconciliation bills into law since 1997 when Newt Gingrich was Speaker. And guess what? They had a much larger majority. And you know what? The House of Representatives majority is 220 to 215 and will be at 217 to 215 in just a few weeks. We have a smaller margin than what the United States Senate does. It is harder to pass bills in the House than it is in the Senate.
So, I mean, in terms of what you're dealing with right now and this back and forth on two reconciliations versus one huge omnibus, is there a risk that a second reconciliation bill doesn't happen at the end of the year?
Absolutely. That is what I've been sounding the alarm the whole time. Making sure these tax cuts do not expire is my number one priority. President Trump campaigned on that, and I am going to use every strategy to deliver for President Trump his campaign promises when it comes to tax. And making sure that tax is in the first reconciliation bill will make it easier to make sure we can deliver on the president's tax proposals and tax plans. And you know, the American people, Maria, they want that certainty. They don't want Congress to kick the can down the road and December 30th decide to just extend it for another year. They want permanency. They want certainty. That's why we need to do it now, not later.
So what's the problem with doing a large omnibus that includes taxes? I mean, what's the pushback that you get? Do you think that you won't be able to get support for a larger bill at the beginning of the year that includes tax as well as border as well as energy?
The biggest argument is that we want to deliver a legislative win to President Trump as soon as possible. But let me tell you, I would rather make sure that we have a major win than just one win. because my fear is that we can deliver the immigration win through reconciliation, but we might not be able to follow through with tax and energy and permitting and spending cuts if we don't do it all in one package.
Yeah, no, I understand the risk, and that would be a huge black mark if, in fact, you get all this other stuff done and you don't get done with the extension of the taxes because you can't do another reconciliation bill at the end of the year. Look, the full House could vote on this nearly $900 billion defense bill today, and that includes a 14.5% increase in terms of a pay raise for junior enlisted troops. It put limits on transgender-related medical care, DEI-based recruitment, and teaching of critical race theory in military-run schools. The bill also features border security elements like creating a northern border mission center. The bill faces Democrat opposition. The ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee, Adam Smith, is urging Democrats to block the bill over the ban on transgender medical care for minors. So, Mr. Schumer, what about that? I mean, will the House vote on this bill today? Will it pass? And I guess the other question is, you probably don't have support for the amount of money you're talking about, because John Thune is talking about between $60 and $80 billion for the border bill to earmarked for deportations and the border wall. But Stephen Miller told me he needs $100 billion.
So I believe that the NDAA negotiation, House Republicans did a pretty good job. They made the bill much better than what it has been in years past. Of course, I would have liked to have gone a whole lot farther. However, it's probably the best bill that can be passed in this division. I just hope that the Democrats will follow through in a bipartisan way to make sure that we follow through in a pay raise for our troops, making sure that they're secure, making sure that the proposals are working effectively in the department. I think that's the key. When you look at the border funding, we absolutely need to make sure that we have the appropriate amount of money to carry the president's priorities when it comes to deportations of criminals and making sure that we are enforcing the southern border. That's why one reconciliation package, Maria, I will say again, with tax, border, energy, permitting, and spending cuts is the best approach to put on the president's desk and deliver major economic wins, major security wins for the American people.
When will you have clarity on that, whether or not you could do it in one gigantic bill?
You know, what basically, Maria, will happen, what President Trump wants is what we'll make sure we deliver. I am a huge supporter of President Trump. I'm just trying to give him what I believe is the best advice to follow through and carry out his direction and his policies in the House of Representatives.
All right, we'll be watching your work, of course, Congressman. Mr. Chairman, good to see you this morning. Thank you, sir.